I think it's important to keep our minds on the important things, like keep the major things major.
Major and the minor things
Minor. Like
for
don't
sure.
don't
Hi everyone, welcome back to NewSpring's YouTube channel. My name is Obi.
And I'm Fakwe.
Yes, Popsy, my wife. And we are so glad to be here again. And we are still talking about relationship. And some of the questions that we've been addressing, we have pulled for some of our events. Our persons have sent in their questions. And today again, we're going to be talking about a question. I'll let Fakwe go ahead and ask the question.
Okay. So this question is about, the list. So the question is, how do you figure out what on your list is not that serious and what is non-negotiable? That's one part. And another one is like, what are your expectations for how do you discuss what your expectations are for your spouse? Like what you expect married life to be like. So I guess it's two questions. So
Right. So yeah, I would go for the first one. And I would say, like, I know somebody mentioned having that image of a 6 feet tall black guy.
Oh yeah,
exactly.
Tall, that
is a resume that you put it like that. A resume you made up for somebody, right? And we all know what a resume does. It just gets you into that interview room, into that door, and then the rest of it is up for you to actually now dig out the information to find out, is this person real? Is this person actually what all that is said on black and white? So there are definitely things that, it's good to actually dream. You want somebody that's tall, you want somebody that is of this shape and all of that stuff. But then when you're now looking at a long-term relationship, are those things that will sustain you?
Absolutely.
That will give you joy. So yeah.
Let me take it up where you left off. Like when you think of a long-term relationship, what is actually important? Like this pandemic has just made it all the more real to me that most of your time in a marriage is just spent living with each other.
Life experience.
Like you're not necessarily, you're not going to be having sex 24/7. You're not even having it that much. Yeah, you're not going to be, I don't know, lovey-dovey
all the time.
It's mostly just experiencing life together.
Yeah.
So I think that the things that you should prioritize are the values that help you to either enjoy life together or that things that could make it hard to enjoy life together. Yes. So an example would be during this pandemic, it would suck to really be living with someone who is very negative with their words, Imagine waking up to whining every day. That would be quite stressful. And this thing is still on right now. That's one thing. Imagine that as you might have gained a couple pounds, somebody is just there like highlighting all the things. Exactly. No. So like it's important to, and that's one part. In the pandemic, or even let's say there's no pandemic, you're going to work every day, you're living together, you're sharing chores. Does their height help you wash plates?
Nope.
Does the the abs, does it help you to, take care of children? If you're having a difficult time, let's say, for example, one person lost a job, right? What are the values that help you to live together and to enjoy life despite challenges, like in the highs and the lows? I think it's important to keep our minds on the important things, like keep the major things major.
Major and the minor things
minor. Like don't stress over little things. Now, having said that, it's still quite important to like if something is important to you, don't downplay it. Yep. So like I like that I wake up every morning, I'm like, oh, Ovi, you actually look quite handsome today, and like I appreciate that. Yes. I appreciate that. Like, I get to enjoy that. And I think that I don't want to downplay the importance of beauty and all of that, but it's just the package. It's the wrapping.
Yeah.
So what's inside? And like the example he was giving earlier of a resume. So let's say you get attracted to something. It's usually the outer thing that attracts you, right? Yeah. But then you see something that's like, okay, it kind of seems like my type, but I'm not too sure. Don't now say you will not give the person a chance at all. Like you wouldn't even have a conversation to see maybe there is more in there. Because sometimes you're surprised by what's in there. So like don't miss out on awesome people just because you can't see beyond the package they come in. Now, the package is important because sometimes it's a reflection of how much they care.
Who they really are.
Like well. I give the example of like, why won't you make the effort to, dress up, iron your clothes when necessary, comb your hair,
cut your hair,
mouthwash,
look good, smell good.
Those things
good.
Are important. So if you're not making the effort, maybe it's a reflection of like, what's it deep down. But
I agree with you. And for sure that like you said, there are some things that you can't change in a person.
Right.
So don't put in so much effort trying to change somebody, because they've been who they are all this while before they met you. So the likelihood that because of the things that you like in them, and then you want them to actually bring it out. They might do it from the initial start, but then
is it sustainable?
Is it
that's
sustainable
true.
for 5 years, for 10 years, when the kids are everywhere, when you have a job to go to, or somebody loses someone, maybe a dad or a mom, the real character comes out at the low times, right? So yeah.
There's so much you can talk about, but what we're saying here for this question before we hop into the next one is that, like, don't major in minors. Like, don't focus on the things that are not super important, and make sure that you're keeping that in mind, that this beauty thing, it fades. So the other one that we asked was, what are your expectations for your future spouse in various areas? And I think that can be a guide on deciding what is important and what is not, right? So for me, I kind of joke that I've been saying that my destiny is loud. I just knew that I was going to blow somehow, whether it be like, I feel like at work, or in like writing books, I'm not like necessarily quiet, and I felt like I needed somebody that was
to match her
that
vibe,
was fine
right?
with me potentially being in the spotlight.
Exactly.
Like, I don't think I'm anywhere near where I could be, but I thought that was important. So if I had met somebody that maybe earning more than him would be a problem, or like having to support me for things would be a problem, then I would have felt like that was not a good fit. So like, knowing that for myself, I felt like it was important to find someone that was supportive. Now, other expectations for your spouse can include things like what are expectations? What am I forgetting?
Well, expectations is just like doing life, like what you do in terms of like how do you plan to live or run your home? Who does the dishes? Who does
finances? Your relationship with friends?
Do we bring in both the bulk of the income, and then we have an account? How do we plan to extend love to our friends and families? My friends, are they going to be your friends, or are we going to now have a pool of friends that we just kind of live together? Expectations on like your faith. How much would you consider I have to, submit things to God and submit to my spouse?
Even the big topic of headship and submission, like what does that mean to you? And like, how do you expect that to play out in the marriage? Again, you might not have all the fine details, but I think it's good to have this conversation so you can see how the person thinks, and you can see if their ideologies are matching your own, or if there's like major differences that need to be addressed.
And of course, if they are differences, also try and find out from the perspective where the person comes, because everybody has a background, and they're just going to express it based on what they know. So it doesn't mean that their own thoughts are right or wrong.
And even when they're different, there are ways to kind of to come to an agreement. So Absolutely. Sure, you might have grown up in a place where your mom was like completely a homemaker and all, but like, if I have a PhD and I don't have any desire to be a full-time homemaker, then the home will be made because we will have the money to pay for things and all of that. Right? So agreeing on that it will be done, but just might not be done by me, that kind of thing. So being able to come to those agreements beforehand so that at least you're on the same page is pretty important. We've said a lot of things in this video, so let's just try to sum up. The first one was about
expectations.
Was it expectations? No, it was your list.
Yes.
It was about your list, knowing what's negotiable and what's not. So how do you summarize that point?
Well, just knowing that you have something that appeals to you, and that is what you'll be attracted to. And when you see it, you should be able to also, accept that, okay, these are the things I like. And then if you don't check all the boxes, we can still have a deal. We can still put things together and, show me what else that I did not put on my list.
Right? What else is it that the person has that is not on your list?
Is not your list.
That might be a beautiful add-on, And then the second question was about expectations for married living. So knowing the things that you want to do with your life and evaluating your partner against like how well are they able to support me in that area is important. One big example I like to give is if you have a call of God on your life to be a missionary or something, that's a pretty big deal.
A big one.
Is this person willing to travel with you to the ends of the world, that kind of thing, or whatever your requirements are. And then also with everyday living, making sure you have those conversations about things that really do matter in the long run, are important to figure out where this person is thinking and if you guys really relate. This has been a long one, but we hope you enjoyed it. If there's anything you want to add to this conversation, we'd love to hear from you. So put them down in the comment section. We'll be reading them and responding to them.
Absolutely.
My name is Fokwe, and we meet today was my darling husband.
Obi.
And we'd love to have you with us in person. Well, when we come back to church in Hamilton, or online. We meet on Sundays at 5:30 p.m. on Zoom. The link will be on our socials.
And right on the screen.
Yeah.
And we hope to see you guys next time.
By all means, subscribe, share this video, with your enemies, your loved ones, everybody in your life. Share it.
And hit that notification to get more videos from NewSpring Church. We'll see you guys in the next video.
Bye.
Bye.